Good evening, class. Today I'm going to talk to you about time management. Now, I'm not going to be talking about time management as it's presented in the book or what you can find when you Google time management or etc. I'm going to be talking to you about time management through my eyes, how I learned time management and the different things that I have picked up over the course of my lifetime. Of course, many of you know from reading my bio in my first video, I spent the first part of my life in the military, both active duty, Army, Marine Corps, and in the Reserves and National Guard. So, being in the military, time management is something you learn very quickly. In basic, the drill sergeant gives you numerous tasks and he expects those tasks completed, and you need to figure out how to prioritize them and how to get them accomplished in a short amount of time. Of course, you probably never will get them done, but it's designed that way. But you also learn how to manage your time to make sure that you show up for your appointments, formation, on time. There's an old saying in the military that 15 minutes is on time is late, and late's never accepted. So you learn how to manage your time. You learn how to make sure you're checking on your time. Several years ago, I had the pleasure of going through the Oregon Army National Guard OCS program, where I met an outstanding instructor who later became a good friend. He introduced me to a organizer that he used and suggested to us candidates. Back then it was called the Franklin Planner. Later it was renamed Franklin Covey. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, Google it. But basically, on one side there was a column where you could put all of your tasks, and then you would number them. A's were something you needed to get done right away. B's were important, but not as important as A's, and C's were things you really would like to get done if at all possible, and D's were things that you just, if you got time, you'd like to do them. And then after you numbered them, A, B, C, D, you would prioritize them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you would start off with your A1 task and start working on it. On the other half of the first page, it would have a schedule starting at 6 a.m. I believe, and went all the way to like 9, and you could block off times. Then on the second page, it was a blank page where you could write notes for your meetings and stuff like that, or comments about your time management. I carried one of those planners and worked it for numerous years until computers and smartphones came in, and I started transitioning things over to various programs there. Now, for me, I try to attack things as soon as they come in. That's not always possible for all of us, though. Let's look at this realistically. A majority of us now are older students holding down 1 to 2 jobs, especially with a pandemic. A lot of us are trying to have a plan B. We have school, we have family. A lot of us, I'm sure, have church obligations. So our life is extremely full. One of the things that I do to make time management work for me is to make sure that I create an environment that's healthy for my time management. When I sit down in when I come into my office, I make sure my office is clean and squared away. I make sure my desk is clean and squared away. If my desk is clean, it makes me a more effective person. Also, over the years, I've realized which part of the day I am most effective in. I'm a morning person. In fact, I have gotten to the point that I get up 30 minutes early just to handle those little things that I'm going to do when I get up. I may get up and dishes were left out, and I'll put those in, or maybe I'll rinse some dishes and run a load of dishes, or I'll spend a couple times straightening up my office and making sure it's squared away. I function better in the morning. That's when I try to sit down and do some stuff. Find out when you function best and use that time to your advantage for your most important stuff, that A1 type stuff. Um, Also, I think something that's came into play and was explained to me, always cut out a small portion of your day for you. If you don't have any you time, then your mind is constantly wandering other places because you've not had any downtime for you. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. Take 30 minutes, go get you a good cup of coffee, or for us Texans, a nice cold Dr. Pepper, depending on the time of the year. Sit down, relax, go watch an episode of TV, get back up, and then focus. But do something that's for you. You know, there once was a saying, I think on Dave Ramsey, if you win a large sum of money, take 10% of that money and just spend it, because if you don't, you'll spend all of your winnings. I think that same principle sort of applies to time management. Spend a little bit of that time management time on you. If you don't, your mind's going to be drifting and thinking on other things and not focusing on a lot. Just the last thing for me that was taught to me early in my college career is when you come into the office or to your study space, explain to your family when that door to the office is closed, it is no longer your office. You're in college. And unless the house burns down, do not disturb you. If that environment don't work for you, here's a couple things that I've also done. Because it at times does not work for me either. Go to the Starbucks, get you a nice cup of coffee, sit down and do your homework. Another function that works well for me because of my location is I can take an alternate route and drive right by the Fort Worth campus, pull in, go in the library, spend a couple hours studying in one of those study rooms. It's all to myself, no distractions, plenty of resources. Hey, I know I went a little longer than probably should have, but I hope these tips and information on time management will give you some benefit. Hey, if you have some questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.